Prepare yourself for an adrenaline-fueled thrill ride like no other in Ghostrunner 2. Step into the shoes of a badass cyborg wielding a deadly sword, ready to leap, swing, and slice your way through a breathtaking futuristic world. This action-packed title will push your skills to the limit with its challenging but seamless combat. However, be warned, the game's fast pace and intricate narrative may prove daunting for newcomers to the series. Hey wonderful friends! First things first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. After the mind-blowing events of the original game, where our protagonist, known as the Ghostrunner, toppled the tyrannical rule of the architect, he now goes by the name Jack. Jack's mission? To restore order in the towering Dharma Tower, the last refuge of humanity. But peace is threatened by rampaging gangs, posing a dire challenge to the efforts of the brave climbers working to rebuild society. Ghostrunner 2 delivers an exhilarating gameplay experience that will leave you breathless. It expertly blends lightning-fast movement with heart-pounding action. Traverse treacherous ruins, running along walls, sliding and swinging with incredible finesse. Yet, paradoxically, the general pace of movement feels deliberately slow, adding an extra layer of intensity. And remember, in combat, there are no second chances. It's a killer-be-killed situation reminiscent of hardcore action games like Superhot and Hotline Miami. But let's talk speed. Nothing matches the sheer thrill of Ghostrunner 2's mind-blowing motorcycle segments. After battling your way through several missions, you'll finally uncover the futuristic hog, and trust me, it's worth the wait. As a former rider myself, I must confess my bias, but the controls are nothing short of flawless. From steering to boosting and even wall riding, the experience is both satisfying and heart-pumping. If they ever decide to create a separate project solely focusing on Jack's motorcycle escapades, count me in. Ghostrunner 2 retains the solid mechanics of its predecessor, with Jack spending most of his time gracefully swinging between platforms and expertly running along walls before swiftly slicing his enemies into pieces. Although the individual actions are swift and lethal, the overall movement can feel sluggish at times. This becomes even more apparent when transitioning from the motorcycle, which can be jarring. However, the game compensates for this with the lightning-fast pace of combat as you carve your way through the tower with unparalleled speed and precision. Prepare yourself for epic boss battles that deserve a standing ovation. Each encounter is unique and breaks away from the ordinary. Some bosses require mastery of your blade, while others demand lightning-fast parkour sequences that would make even Ezio Auditore de Firenze blush. The developers, one more level, have truly harnessed the potential of Ghostrunner 2's setting, delivering a variety of thrilling and challenging encounters. Now, let's address the elephant in the room, the one-shot kill, one-shot death system. This is a rarity in the gaming world, and Ghostrunner 2 flaunts it shamelessly. It's a double-edged sword that adds a touch of realism absent in other action games. However, it can be frustrating, especially in the early stages before acquiring upgrades. Even with just a handful of enemies, Ghostrunner 2 will test your patience as you repeat the delicate combat sequences until perfection is achieved. But fear not. The instant respawns ensure that the difficulty curve remains challenging rather than discouraging. Combat becomes a cerebral puzzle, requiring strategic planning and flawless execution. As someone who didn't have much exposure to the original Ghostrunner, I confess that following the sequel's story was initially challenging. The game bombards you with game-specific jargon from the get-go, taking some time to wrap your head around. While there is a recap available in the main menu, it's unfortunately vague and not overly helpful. Nevertheless, I must commend One More Level for creating an immersive cyberpunk atmosphere, complete with a fitting environment and captivating music that truly draws you into the game.